And now we will start. Uh, Now we will start our document understanding session. So we've learned how to. I'll give a quick revision of what we did yesterday. We during our first session we learned about taxonomy. We learned how to digitize the document and classify the document. Yesterday we started learning about the classifier activities and how to train them, and we also got to know how to validate it in case manual validation of or manual classification of those documents are required. So we saw two types. We saw attended automation, that is this present classification station, and unattended automation, that's by creating the document classification action. And then we learned how to train our classifier activities because we don't want to do this manually every time. So the more we train, the more intelligent the robot becomes. Yesterday, we also learned about a bit about AI Center and all the out-of-the-box packages available. We also saw what is a storage bucket, and we also saw the Action Center. Today, we are going to focus on actually how to extract the information from the documents that we've been aiming to do so, like since session one. So let's start doing that. So now, if you remember what I told, that every classifier or every classification activity gives an array of classification result. So when you have an array, you can't basically start extracting on that array itself. You have to navigate to one result at a time. So how to do that? Let's bring a for each activity. Now we are going to classify, now we are going to extract information with the help of each classified value. So if you see, what we did is we classified and we validated it manually. And after validation, either through attended automation or through unattended automation, after the validation, we changed our variable to validated classification result. That is also a classification result array, right? So this is the value that I'm going to use. Now, there should be a question, like if you remember very well, that during my first session, I told you that classification is not a necessary step. It's a step that needs to be done if you have variety of document, but if you're assigned a single kind of document, you don't have to do that. But when we are doing this when we are doing the extraction, we need one value. Let me show it to you very quickly, then we'll proceed forward. So, I'll bring the data extraction scope and let me show you very quickly. So now if you see, if you do not classify, you will not be able to give the classification result as an input to this activity. Then what to do? In that case, if you're not classifying and if you do not require classification, you have to provide document type ID. And where to find this document type ID, I'll show you that very quickly. So let me delete this and let me show you the document type ID. You can find it basically at one place only, but using two ways. So I'll show you. First, quickly, let me show you the taxonomy manager. So if you see, when you defined the group and the category and the document, you are actually defining a document type ID. You are actually creating a document type ID. See, in your case, this is a document type ID. The other place where you can find your document type ID is if you go to your project. In the document processing folder, taxonomy.json will also contain the same information because it is basically getting populated from taxonomy manager, right? So let me quickly show you that as well. Here, this is your document type ID. So always remember, in case your project does not need classification, your input will be document type ID for the extraction activity. Now let's start using for each to extract information from each of the classified result. So since our result is stored in an array, which is of classification result type, so I have to change the type argument over here. Let's browse for classification result. Now, let me change it over here. Why did I change item? Because I am using the name item for a variable that stores the information of my file location. I can't have the same variable name for two different processes or two different activities. And also both these variables, CR and the variable item, is basically defined under the same scope of parallel for each. That's the other reason. All right, let's move ahead. So each of the classification result, inside the validated classification results, we have to now extract the information. So in order to do that, we have activity. Basically, we have extractors, form, intelligent form extractors, machine learning extractors, regex-based extractors, and data extraction scope. So today we are going to focus basically on form and intelligent form extractor. I'm going to quickly show you a small demo about machine learning extractor, and we are going to use this extracted result from these extractors to keep our output, final output, in an Excel file. So now let's start. Let's bring data extraction scope. So our document path is this particular item variable. So let's quickly populate the values. Document text and DOM both are output from digitize activity. Let's give them the value. Taxonomy is coming from load taxonomy activity as input. Now you have document type ID as well, and you have classification result as well. Since I'm classifying, I will use CR. If you want to use document type ID, even when you're classifying, it's totally up to you. Extraction result, this is again an array. So whatever is extracted will be stored in this extraction results data under the data extraction scope. Now let's start using first form extractor. Okay, again, if you see your form extractor has a URL and endpoint already populated. As already mentioned in earlier classes, you will find the details in a document, public endpoints. So this is a go-to document from UiPath for all the public endpoints used for document understanding. So I'll let this page load. I'll also open my cloud account, that is my orchestrator. Form extractor. So this was auto-populated for our activity form extractor over here. Now this API key will come from your cloud account. So let's go to the licenses. Let's move to robots and services, and let's copy the API key and quickly provide this. Since this is a string, it has to be double quoted. Now you've provided the input. How to manage your extraction? It will start here. So click on Manage Templates. Click on Create Template. Since right now you're training the robot how to extract information, so you have to create a template. Give a name. Okay, wait. In our digitize step, we used UiPath OCR, and that's what I'm going to use. If you want to use Microsoft OCR, you can use that also. Basically, you can see if there is there is like a profile option, none, screen, scan, legacy. By default, it is scan. If it is scan, it does not mean that it will not work on other documents. It will. So you can leave it like that. So let's start by using a UiPath document OCR, and let's give the API key. I also explained you what does use local server and force apply OCR means in our session yesterday. Use local server is nothing but if you want to use your customized OCR for the organization, you can use that using this option. And force apply OCR is used for scanned documents. In case if it is false, like right now, it will not apply to machine readable formats, but only apply to scanned documents. So let's start configuring our templates. All right. So these instructions, let me just walk you through all this quickly while we are doing our, like while we are extracting the information from the document, so we don't have to read it. So what it says is that what that pop-up was actually telling you is how to extract these all information. So this is the first time when your bot is newly created, you need to train it. And we have two kinds of documents, so we have to train the bot twice. So the document type is already populated. Now the bot has to recognize which page it is on. So if this is page one, how will the bot recognize? So you have to give that kind of input. So in order to do that, let's start by selecting words, at least 5 words that will tell the bot that this is your page number one. So click on one, it will highlight it with red box, and then press Control on your keyboard and start giving more or selecting more words, more meaningful information to the bot. So one, press Control on your keyboard and start selecting other words like date, page, delivery, address. So it becomes 5 words we have selected minimum. Now, once you've selected all these words, click this plus sign. The value that you have selected will be populated over here and will also be highlighted in your document. Now, next time when the bot runs and faces or finds a similar document of this pattern, it will look for these words on page number one. When it finds these words, it will say that yes, the document matches the criteria. Now let's look for invoice number. So invoice number, you have to accept a custom area, right? So let's highlight your custom area. So this is my custom area that I want to highlight. Then just click plus. The custom selection is done and also highlighted. Now let's start with date. So again, you have to accept a custom area. So custom area and your date. So it highlights the custom area and all you have to do is click plus. Again, let's move ahead and start extracting other values. So for address, this is your custom area. Same, you have to click plus. Now if you see, this is a table, right? It's a tabular information. So you have this as option. And this is your whole table that you want to extract the information from. So either like this, custom area, and you just click that. So the bot will start, like you see, it has highlighted this is your tabular custom area that you want to extract information from. This is one way. Or start like this. Extract a new table and highlight it. This is the usual way that I prefer. And then start building your table. So start building with the column numbers. Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, and this is your last column 6. So when I did this, if you see, these headers were created. Now what you have to do is you have to select the rows. Let's start selecting the rows. Done. Now what happens if, and let's click extract headers. Now what happens if more rows are added gradually? The bot will understand it. So we don't have to worry about it. Now let's start giving information like number. Then we are selecting description. Then we are taking quantity. And then we are taking simply the line amount. So the line amount, unit price, line amount is this, line amount. That's it. Once you do that, all you have to do is save. Okay, it was not able to, since right now if you see, if it was not able to save, that means it did not even extract the information. Don't worry, let's highlight the table once again. Highlight the rows. And let's Let's quickly mark it again. If it is not getting saved, you have to mark it again because the bot tries to understand your document using this. Done. So the bot was trying to understand the document. If this does not appear, this custom selection does not appear, make sure you reselect the document. All right, let's save and close. So whatever was extracted has been highlighted in our document and everything is now extracted. Let's save. Let's click this and that's it. Close. So you have used form extractor for one document and we are going to use form extractor for our document. For this document we are going to use a different type of extractor. Let's see intelligent form extractor. All right, again let's click on manage templates. Let's click on create template. Let's select the invoice document type. Let's give a name and let's select the other document. And let's click on configure. All right. Now, if you remember, this document of ours is a multi-page document. This is page 1 and this is page 2. So we have to tell the bot how to identify what is page 1 and how to identify what is page 2. So let's start doing this. So first we're going to identify page 1. Let's click here. Let's start by selecting 5 pages again. So 1, anything, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click on plus. Let's start by extracting for page 2. So 1, let's click control on your keyboard and start extracting other information. 2, 3, 4, 5 and plus. So now if you see both the selection that I made is basically I tried to keep something that's unique in both the document, some words that's unique in both the document. Now let's start by extracting invoice number. Invoice number. Now we have one more value to add. So let's start. Okay, let's start by doing this and we will retrain it for the other page. So let's start by date. And same for table. So I want this whole information in my table. So let's start. Again, let's start by extracting new table. Done. So things that were not extracted is already marked as missing for us and we don't have to worry. Let's save. So whatever has been extracted is already highlighted for us. Now we have all the things that we wanted to extract with us, and now let's see. Okay, we still have this document to go for, right? We will do that as well. So first we've marked that if you find page 1, these are the values which you should look for. Let's click save. For page 2, since when you classify, you are basically splitting the information in 2 pages already. So you can use one more activity. I'm going to use the same activity for page 2 as well. For machine learning extractor, I'll show you an example because we need to create a machine learning model for it. So let's start with the second page first. Let's click on manage template. Exactly the same thing. All right, again, we have to mark page 1 and page 2. Let's start by doing that. So let's start by selecting at least 5 words. Done. Now we are going to extract the values for page number 2. So let's start. Invoice number, date, address, and now the tabular information that I want to extract from this document. So let's start. You don't have to worry if line items or the number of rows in your table increases, the bot will take care of it. Never mind. Let's delete and redo this. Done. Save and close and just save this. This is what we want and let's start. All right, now we have extracted all the required information from our document. Now in future, if you keep thousands of documents that look very same to what you have trained your robot on, like something like this or something like this or this, the bot will take care of. Let's go back and let's configure these extractors first. Now, if you see, it's very similar to classifiers that we did, if you remember, right? During the classifier configuration, it's very similar. So let's give 40% again to each as the minimum confidence level. And let's click on this. You see, you have, okay, let me save this first and I'll show you what I was trying to tell you. Let's go back. Let's revise first yesterday what we did by classifiers. So if you remember, while we were classifying, we had to do something very similar called as configure classifiers rather than configure extractors. So when I did this, I assigned a minimum of some confidence level, right? And here I selected what kind of machine learning package I'm using. I'm using an invoice kind. So it is very similar, but there was no drop down to the invoice. Okay, because it was only classifying whether it's an invoice or a form or a utility bill. But now when we are extracting the information over here, there is a need to specify the fields that we want to extract using each of these extractors. So let's start by doing that. All right, done. So what happened is, okay, so now if you had a different name for your output, if you want to give a different name for your output, you can also give it over here. You can map. So if invoice number in your output you want to write as INO, in case it will be passed on to this value. But again, you have to map it back to your taxonomy. So we are not going to do anything of that nature. I think I want the same output in the same fashion, and now I'm going to save it. So okay, yes. So it's a warning. Why? So it says the reported result will be one from the first extractor passing the minimum confidence check. Other results will be discarded. Combining subfield results from two or more extractors is not supported. Let's click yes. Why we had that is now suppose your first document was extracted using the form extractor and the confidence of extraction was 80%, then it will not look for intelligent form extractor, and so on and so forth. So this is what it meant. So let's save this once more. Yes. Okay. Very similar to what we did over here. If, okay, let's see over here. This is the extracted result. Let's start first by writing it into an Excel, and then I'll show you what I like, how to validate your extraction is good or bad. So let's first export it. Now to export this, you have to write the extraction results into an Excel file. So let's start that. So our extraction result is in this variable, and let's create the output from this activity as data sets. And now let's start by writing all the values. So data sets is basically an array. It contains multiple data tables combined in it. It contains multiple data tables combined in it, and I'm going to write each of the data table into an Excel sheet. So again, I'm going to use for each. This for each should always go inside the for each of your validated classification results. Let's do that. Again, change the name and change the type from here. All right. To write something into an Excel, UiPath has an activity called as write range, and I'm going to use that activity. So if you see there are two activities, write range, and since you've done this already in phase 2, you might know the difference, but I'll revise the difference for you. So when you use file write range, you do not need an Excel to be installed on your system. Even if it is not, it will work, but it will not open an Excel for you. This write range will always work inside an Excel application scope, and it needs an Excel application to be installed on your system. So let's start by using this write range, and I'm going to write it back to, let me create a folder over here. So I'm writing it over here. let's give it a name. Table name. I want it in an Excel format. Let's keep it like that. And since there can be multiple sheets, I'm going to write the sheet name as table name again. And DT is nothing but our data table that we want to write in the Excel. Let's add headers to it, save it. Also, one more thing. If you remember, while I was configuring your extraction, I gave a minimum confidence level. I want to see the confidence level, so I'm going to click on include confidence. And if you want to see the confidence of how good the OCR worked, you can click that also. Once you do that, this information will be populated inside your data set, and then you can write it back to your Excel. Let's run this process. All right, so an action was created for your validation purpose in the action center. How did I know that? Because first of all, I've been training a lot on document understanding. Secondly, my workflow is in stop state. So I know that something has been created in the action center. Let's see. Yep. Let's resume my workflow. Again, something has been created. Let's see what that is. All right, let's assign to myself. So we've seen this, how we did this, we've seen this yesterday already. So this is still classification. Let's again resume. Done. So our process of extraction is done, and let's see what result we got. So here's like the whole result that we have. So let's start with this first. All right. So all the simple fields were extracted and kept in this document. Let's see. So, okay, one more thing. I'll tell you what happened, but let's see. Okay, so the invoice number, this 257487. Invoice number. Invoice number, this 143453775 with correct, with the correctness or confidence of 70%, and the OCR confidence was almost 98%. Then the date 1/3/2019, 1/3/2019. Whatever the values that we wanted, Niagata 43, Norway, it has been extracted, stored over here. And again, so what all we wanted has been extracted. The information of your item data table, that is this, has been extracted in a different file. So let's go, let's see this. Okay, so what we got. Okay, so three items has to be extracted. Did it extract or not? Yes, all three. With your confidence level, it treated the tracking number as well in form of your row, one of the row. So while I was creating this extraction field, I selected this whole as my table. But if I wanted to get more accuracy, I should have selected just this, leaving tracking number outside. This was the correct selection. So this is while extraction, I selected this as well. Never mind. Let's see the description. It has extracted the complete description. So complete description from here has been extracted and kept over here. And again, you see the confidence level, OCR confidence and confidence level of your extraction is also maintained. Then quantity, instead of selecting the quantity, it got the unit actually extracted over here. So we can correct this while we are going to train our document, train our bot. And then what else? We got the unit price. So we got the line amount. So the line amount has been extracted. See, for each of the values, it has extracted it perfectly all right. Now, let's go back and let's train our document on this. Okay, one more thing. Let me rerun this because we did not see the result from this particular invoice, right? Or we'll rerun this after training the document. So we'll fix it over here. So now, if you see, do you need that there also should be a question in your mind if the confidence level is so high, 98%, 70%, I don't want to train my robot again to do something. That's fair enough. So this is what I also do when I'm doing data extraction for my clients. If my confidence level is as high as what I've seen over here, like 98% or 100% confidence, I don't train my robot. But if the confidence is less than, for example, 70%, I train my robot. So nevertheless, since we are learning how to do this, we are going to train it. Okay, let's start. Again, there are two ways of training it. Either you train it in attended fashion or unattended fashion. First, let's go with attended fashion. So the activity now, earlier the attended automation for classification training was present classification station. But for extraction, it is called as present validation station. Let's bring this. All these inputs, you know from where they are coming. So let's just start populating it. Now this automatic extraction result is nothing but the extraction result that you got from over here, this variable. So let's give it over here. And now let's create a new variable for this and I'll name it as validated extraction results. Now let me run this again. All right, so just to keep it like more distinct, I have added date time to it. So let's run our flow. Let's close this. All right, let's run this. Now we are learning how to train the robot to extract information correctly. It is totally dependent on the confidence level that you're getting out of your extraction. Also, this classifies that the activity that I'm showing you right now is not important or not necessary to be performed every time. So you can basically write a code that checks your confidence level, and if the confidence level is less than the required value, only then you go ahead and present the validation station. All right, something has been created on the action center. Let's check. It's again the classifier step. So I'm going to classify it. Just give me a moment. Assign, assign. Same I'm gonna do for this as well. Assign it first. Assign it to user. Pending actions. Let's cover it one by one. All right. Okay. I think this is a very interesting question that I would like to ask. If you would be able to answer, just unmute yourself and let me know if you know the answer. Why was I able to get both the invoices at one go at the classification station? Anyone who knows the answer can unmute and let me know. All right, the reason is because I was using parallel for each activity for my job, right? So that's the reason. Okay, the given paths format is not supported. Definitely yes. Uh, I'm just going to replace it by a count only with nothing fancy. We can definitely use date time, but make some changes to it. I just want to show you multiple documents. Okay, I'll run it again. And I'll have the same actions basically created here. All right, so something has been created. Let's go and get it done. Okay, never mind. We'll solve this for the classifier trainer later, intelligent keyword classifier trainer later, and I'll tell you what exactly happened with our document. Let's click OK. Never mind. Let's go and see what happened to our. Okay, basically, it did not extract even anything for us. Okay, let me go back. Let me reiterate. Okay, if you remember that during our first session, I mentioned that if your document is not classified properly, what will happen is basically you'll get an activity error. So right now, your document, while it was trained on the same document, it still finds certain new text on your PDF file. It might be due to multiple trainings, there is some special characters or something while digitization that might have occurred. So for that, let's just keep our code in a try catch. So basically, I'm going to put everything related to classification and extraction in the try-catch so that they're still maintained in the same scope activity. Full. And one more thing. I don't want to train because I've been training it multiple times. Let me stop the training part. So yeah, I'm going to stop this as well. So I don't want anything to be created on the Action Center. We've seen this multiple times. So let's run it from here onwards. Done. Let's see what all happened. It's still writing here or somewhere else. Instructions outside the can stay from either. Let's run this again. We want it to be successful. So let's Okay, so we are having exception at two documents. Let's see which document is actually giving us an exception. So it's giving text. Right, let me stop this. Let me put this document in the junk. All right. So we basically still have the same results for just one of our invoices. It's still this invoice and it's still giving us the same. Okay, let's start retraining it. So it's coming from here, right? Configure classifiers. Let's go back. How to do that? Let's delete all the information that we have. Delete and save this. What else do I have? I have this. Let me delete this. Save this. Done. And I'm going to retrain my classifier information. Press. Let's save it. Let's quickly manage the learning for this as well. Okay, I don't need this classifier, so I'm going to delete this. I'm going to use this classifier. Um, One more thing. I want you back again. All right, let's save. Let's configure our classifiers. It's still the same. Let's save it. Let's see back our document. It has to populate the same information. Done. Great. And this is for our keyword classifier, invoice date, address, cool. So we have this over here again. And it's in the sequence try catch. Yes. And then quickly re-manage our templates from here if I need to change something. Okay. Yep. Let's run this. All right, so let's take a pause over here. It says that it has been suspended. Let's see why. So let's go back. Still creating actions. Yeah, so I stopped the training. What I did is I reiterated through my classifiers and I have created an activity on the action center to train it manually. But we are not training the robot, we are just doing it manually. So let's do that quickly for both the documents. Assign it to myself. Let's resume. All right. So this is what I wanted to show you. If you remember that while we were doing this, after the classification, we did the extraction. And after the extraction, what I said that if in case if the extraction result is not as per your requirement, you can do it manually as well. You can validate your extraction. So this is what we are doing for the first time using attended automation, and I'm using a validation station. This is how my validation station looks like. Now, when it comes to validation, it clearly tells me that from this document, nothing has been extracted. So let's start. Usually when you present the validation station, this will happen. So you don't have to worry about it. So let's start. And there's where the training comes into picture. Again, the date, address, now the table. Done, save, save. Again, for this, the values that have been extracted is already highlighted. All you have to do is you have to check, okay, let's take a pause. Earlier, there was no data extracted, and then it said that you have to extract the data all over again. That is a very frequent scenario that you will get in case the confidence level is low. And if the confidence level is high, the data that has been extracted will be shown to you as such, like over here. But if you remember, I said that our STK quantity is not STK, but it has to be 3, 4, or 5. Let's do this. So click this, mark this as missing. Let's start by extracting. So this is the value that I wanted to extract, right? So click on this and click on add extracted value. All right, same. This is the value that you wanted to extract. Again, let's go and do the same for others. So this is basically for the last line. Or simply this, go over here, change the extracted value, and then it's this value. Select this, click here, like slowly scroll up, and change the extracted value. That's it. Now the extraction is correct. It's not unit, but now it has extracted all the quantities rather than the unit STK. Save and close. This is called as validation as well. So not just extracting everything from the scratch, but validating what you've extracted, what the bot has extracted is right or not. That's it. Done. Let's see our results. So let's start with simple fields 3. Let me wait. Let me open all of them. So it did not extract our multi-pages second document. It only extracted the first. Let's see this. The same year, it was not populated. All the values were still stored in this for the first document. Okay, it's strange that it's not getting populated. By the way, so this is how we basically do attended automation for document understanding, and you can replace this attended automation with unattended automation. It is very similar to what we did for classification. So let's Okay, so we had create classification action for unattended automation while we were doing classification. Let me minimize this. Now for while we extract, it becomes create document validation action, and again then you will have a wait action to couple with your create validation action. Let's do that quickly. It goes inside this for each only. I'm going to comment this out. And this create document validation is coupled with wait for document validation action. Now this is basically everything very similar that we did yesterday. You have to give the storage bucket and action output. Everything is similar. So I'm not going to configure this because we are also running out of time. But over here, I would like to take a pause, and I would like everything when you use this, either the attended automation we did over here or that we were seeing on the action center, everything will be similar. So there is nothing new that I'll be teaching you over here. I'll be just redoing everything. Let's take a pause and see what happened today. So we were stuck at an error. So this only happens when your JSON file gets corrupted, or like I said, it finds a new character. But originally in your document, there was no new character added. So you have to retrain your classifiers like I did. Retraining the classifiers, you saw how we do that. We clean our JSON file, delete the content, and manage the templates again, manage your classifier templates again. So this is one thing that we've learned with today's error. And the other document, I'll see what is happening with the other documents, but basically both the documents are extractable in nature. So this should not be the case for us. Or what I can tell you is what is happening is that your only form extractor is working at the moment. Your intelligent keyword extractor did not extract the information at all. But this is not the case usually when you do it for your documents. So this is the other finding that we have from today's session. Today was the last session on document understanding. I want you guys to ask me question. Please ask me question. Please practice this. It is an important topic. These days it's very much important. I'll tell you a few other things that we have, like you can do the same kind of extraction, document extraction, using other tools. One that I can name is Microsoft Azure Form Recognizer Service. It's a cognitive service. It's also very similar to what we did today. So the floor is open. Please ask me questions. I'll be forwarding this code to you guys. Yeah. All right. So in case if you guys do not have question today, what if we give less confidence at extraction? I will never advise that you give less confidence to the extraction. Always keep it high, 80%. It is totally your choice. You can give that. In case if you give less confidence, if something is extracted wrongly, that the bot will say that it is just like, okay, if you give only 30% as your confidence level, the bot, if it extracts a wrong information and see that, oh, only 30% is the confidence, then whatever I extracted is right. But basically it's not correct information that it is extracting for you, right? So this is one reason I would like in practical scenarios, minimum requirement is at least 75%. Keep it to that. All right. If you want to practice document understanding more, you can go to forum.uipath.com. Yes, over here there are so many use cases based on document understanding that you can pick and start your practice. It's very interesting, very interesting. And also one of the most important technologies in demand throughout the world. All right. Any more questions? If not, tomorrow we are going to learn something very new. We are going to create an app for ourselves using UiPath. I'll come with some preparation already done because we are short of time. I only have 1.5 hours and I have so much to show you guys. But I'll try and keep everything within the time limit. So tomorrow we are going to learn how to create applications using UiPath and a bit of documents that I have, and I want you guys to read and learn from it. I'll share that tomorrow. So after our session. So I hope that you learn from that. Read the documents, it's very interesting. I hope you learn a lot from those documents. Were you all able to practice this, whatever we've done? Right? Okay, that's all from my side for today's session, guys. We have officially learned document understanding end to end. That's very nice, Aman. I'm really proud of you if you're practicing. It's a very good skill to have.